Good morning, listeners. I hope that I find you well and in the Christmas spirit, as Christmas is just about upon us. Now, given the fact that it's just about Christmas, and I have on the last couple of occasions, yes, you've caught me on social media, read a couple of comments regarding giving. Excuse me, and most of them pertain to the fact that somebody felt they had given to someone and had nothing in return. So, of course, that makes the person doing the giving feel very sad, very unappreciated, very abused, and taken advantage of. So, let's have a little bit of a look at giving. What does the word giving means? To me, and to most of the, let's say, philosophers out there, giving means I like you to have something. Why would I like you to have it? Because in the giving of that to you and in you enjoying it, I feel good. In giving you something, I feel good. So the whole point of giving is that I do get a payoff, even though the receiver does not say, thank you, or I'm so grateful to you, or what would I have done without you, what can I do for you? All those things that we traditionally look for as a reward. Giving is not intended to have a return action. It's not a two-way transaction. So people, if you are one of those who feel you have been giving, and I'm not just talking giving gifts here. Another comment was that this person had poured him or herself into another person and had got nowhere in return. Another comment was, don't set yourself up for disappointment by caring for someone and you have no knowledge or no ability to know whether they care for you in return or care as much in return. And listeners, I want to say to you this morning, that is not how it works. If you're constantly looking for a return on what you are putting into the other person, into a relationship, then you're on hiding to nowhere. And really, then you are giving with a wrong motivation. As I say, giving in its essence means I give you this, whether it is a gift, whether it is a hand with something, whether it is supporting you when you're going through a difficult time. Because I want to, giving makes me feel good. And if you can feel good, that makes me also feel good. So I am getting something in return. I am not doing this for utterly no reward. But if you are one of these people who in fact are really self-serving and say, well, I will give you that. And if you're not eternally grateful, then I'm not giving again because, what was in it for me? And that is not the idea behind giving. And of course, we as human beings should be able to do for others without expecting anything in return. The same in relationships. You're in a relationship, you care for the other person, and you would like the relationship to not just work, but to flourish. So you give to the relationship and you give to the other person. If he or she does not give back to the relationship in equal quantities, yes, there's a conversation to be had. You can say to that person, can we chat about our relationship or our friendship at some time? And explain to the other person that you feel that you are making a great effort to make the relationship work, and he or she is perhaps not putting the same commitment into the relationship, which is slightly different than I'm pouring everything into the relationship and I get nothing back. My cup is empty. I have nothing left to give because nobody's given back to me. For your cup to be full, you need to look after yourself. As we've said in a little bit of a roundabout way, your happiness is dependent on you. Your happiness is your business. Your happiness is not someone else's job, because it's too much of a burden, it's too much of a task, it's too big an ask to say to someone, it's your job and your responsibility to make me and to keep me happy. That's my job. And really, if I really care for someone, I give, and that giving creates my happiness. I do not expect anything back, because then it's not giving. Then, if I expect something back, it becomes a transaction. I go to the shop, I give them 100 Rand, they give me X, that kind of thing. Or we are in a negotiation, I give up this, you give up that, and we move forward with the negotiation. So relationships, yes, while they are in negotiations in a certain sense, for the purposes of today, it is not a negotiation. If you want to give, then give. And if your heart is not in the right place to give that, whatever it is, then don't give. Because if you give it with the wrong heart, you both losers. The other person will sense that, and you're not going to get the satisfaction, the reward, or whatever it is you're looking for in that giving. So ask yourself, why am I giving? Am I giving this to Peter just because I want him to have it, and seeing him satisfied and happy makes me happy and that's all I need? Or is it because I think, well, somewhere down the line I'm going to jolly well want something back? If that's the case, your motivation is totally skewed. So ask yourself, listener, as in so many things, what is my motivation for doing this? And if your motivation is on target, you can give and give and give and give, and you will never feel empty and abused. Yes, maybe there will become a point where you feel, I have done my share, I have given as much as I want to give, and I'm no longer in a position to assist this person, but I hope what I did gave them a little bit of a leg up, or gave them a little bit of joy, and you can walk away from that without feeling bitter or hurt or abused or any of those things. So as we enter the season of giving, don't look at the gift you give and the gift you receive as not equal, as not having required the same commitment in looking for it, or perhaps in financial terms. Just give the gift you want to give to that person with all your love and let it go at that. And then you actually receive the greatest gift, that of giving, because giving really is a wonderful way of becoming happy, of becoming satisfied, of becoming a more rounded person. Instead of this needy little complainant who's always looking for, what am I getting in return? Because that is a very, very sad and dissatisfying way for going through life. So this is a short podcast today, listeners, but it's something that I've come across. As I say, you've caught me out. I did cast an eye over Facebook and saw a number of comments over the past 10 days or so regarding giving. Somebody that has given and felt they did not get the equal return in rewards or thanks or gratitude or whatever it was they were looking for. So, if you contemplate, should I, shouldn't I, must I, you both losers. If you want to give it with all your heart. If you don't. But don't do it grudgingly. Don't do it with the expectation of some kind of reward, because that is not giving. That is entering a transaction. And then be open and upfront with it and say to the person, well, if I give you X, will you give me Y? Or what are you prepared to give in return? Like one barters at the flea market. So I hope that is useful. I hope you think about the attitude that you're giving, not just gifts, but your attention, your time, your assistance, and your love. Those things that we should give freely. Look at the attitude and what's behind your giving, and if you are looking for anything in return. And once you start just giving freely, life does become ever so sweet. And I hope with that you have a very sweet Christmas. I hope you have a safe Christmas. If you're spending it with friends and family, make it pleasant, make it joyful, and I shall see you on the flip side of Christmas.
The radio station you can't live without. This is your radio.
This is South Coast Radio.